Performance reviews or appraisals are a part of company life in many parts of the world, and they can make a big difference in your career. So let's learn some expressions that you'll need to be your confident self in your performance review. Hi, I'm your English coach, Christina, and welcome to Business English with Christina, where you become better at English and better at business. Before we start, let me help you a little bit with my expertise as a neurolanguage coach so that you can show your expertise in business and in English. Go over to christinarubafe.com/worksheets and get the free activities and worksheet that I've made for you to go with this lesson. You can test yourself on what you learned and better remember these expressions for your real life. Now, you may have an annual appraisal or a performance review coming up. This is where you're going to talk about how you've done over the past year. And sometimes companies also hold a mid-year review so that they can see how you're doing every 6 months. Whether you have an annual appraisal or a mid-year review, these meetings can help you with your career path or the place that your career is taking you. And that means that you could get a promotion in your company, develop in new ways, or learn how to build your strengths and improve on your current skills. The nice thing about annual appraisals is that there are certain things that you can plan on discussing in advance. And when you take the time to think about what you want to say in advance, you feel more confident and your English is better. And really, just taking some time to think about your performance over the past year is a good idea in general, no matter what language you're using. You're going to talk about the big accomplishments in the year, your milestones, and you might start by discussing your goals with some of these expressions. For this year, my key objectives were to help our team transition to working from home. You might also want to talk about the objectives that you achieved. So you might say, we reached our target of creating a remote onboarding program for our new employees. Or if you're on schedule to reach your goal, you might say, we're on target to welcome all employees remotely by September. You also want to be ready to talk about your strong points for the year. For example, you might say, I feel good about my leadership skills. Or, I think I've demonstrated a great deal of adaptability. In fact, you probably have a lot of strengths. Maybe you've shown some qualities like autonomy, that's working well on your own, problem solving, finding solutions for problems on your own, or communication skills, helping others understand what you're saying or what is important in your message. In fact, there are many possible strong points that I'm sure you have. So before we get into the next part of the video, don't forget to go to christinarubafe.com/worksheets so that you can get an activity that's gonna help you identify your strong points for your annual review. And you'll also get to practice everything that you're learning in this video so that you actually remember the things that you've learned. Now, if you're like me, you like to look for ways that you can continue to improve. So you'll definitely want to share that in your annual appraisal. You don't have to, pretend that you're perfect. No one's perfect. No one is. So here are some ways that you can talk about your goals for your future improvement with confidence. You could say something like, one area where I would like to improve in the next year is my communication with the rest of the team. And maybe you can talk about how you'd like to do that. Maybe you could say, I plan to take a workshop in effective communication. Or, I'd like to make it a priority to hold monthly meetings with the team. And of course, no annual appraisal is complete without feedback, where your team or your manager will tell you how you've done and what you can do to improve from their point of view. Now, of course, yes, you're always hoping to meet the expectations set out for your role in the company or to accomplish the goals assigned to you or that you set for yourself. And if you work hard and maybe with a little luck, you might even exceed expectations. If you learn these expressions, you will go into your next annual appraisal ready to focus on your strengths and your goals and not worry or feel blocked because of English. Now, listening to this video is a great first step, but keep taking these small steps over and over, and you'll be able to use these expressions in your real life. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So here's the next step that you can do to use what you learned today. In the comments, tell us one strong point that you have. Be proud of yourself. Don't be shy. And write down one area where you would like to improve this year. Again, there's no shame. Improving is a good thing, and it's great to be aware of what you can improve. It's a perfect opportunity to practice and make sure that you're using the correct vocabulary for these situations. And if you enjoyed this lesson, I would love to know. And there are 3 simple ways that you can tell me. Give this lesson a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to my channel so that you continue receiving my business English lessons. The second thing you can do, go over to christinarobafate.com/worksheets and get that worksheet to review this lesson and prepare for your annual appraisal. And you can go ahead and watch the next lesson where you can be sure that you're pronouncing 10 business English words correctly. And these are words that learners always struggle with. Thanks so much for improving your English and yourself with Business English with Christina, and I'll see you next time.